The 2025 travel season is officially underway, and I'm very excited to say we're kicking it off with a trip over the Pacific. For the next 3 weeks, I'll be chasing stories from abandoned cities to remote living and master class art forms. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my tremendous pleasure to officially welcome you all to Japan.
7.
Sometimes it seems that things just work in a guy's favor. It rained on us all the way here. We're arriving just before sun goes down. And if you're a fan of the abandoned and the world of urban exploring, you're about to see the most incredible thing. Today we are visiting the largely abandoned village of Kinugawa in Tochigi Prefecture, and this town has everything a person like me would like. It's mountainous and beautiful, luscious and green. The Kinugawa River is flowing right through it, and it was subject to quite the boom and bust in the 1980s. This place grew up at a rate that was a little bit too quick to be sustainable. Many of these hotels that you see around are ryokan, hot spring onsen hotels, and in about 10 years it grew up and eventually collapsed, leaving behind this whole string of these abandoned hotels right on the cliffside above the Kinugawa River. Over the past 30 years, the forest has basically reclaimed the bottom half of these hotels. And of course, being in Japan, people haven't come and vandalized and graffitied all over them. So they're sitting here as a picture-perfect reminder of what once was. This is where it's gonna start getting pretty interesting. Look at this. That tree is growing right up through the walkway. And then the branch is growing through the fence. That's just unreal. These hotels are sitting down just above the river, and that forest has grown up so much. The cost to demolish this would be so high. I bet the forest is just going to reclaim this over years and years. Centuries probably. But it's the ultimate post-apocalyptic view. Basically everything is either gated or fenced off, but if you look really closely, just poking out of the trees is lights and signs from the boardwalks and stuff going along the cliffside below. Wow, oh. Monkeys, 2 of them. A little off the beaten path now. When I started building at the lot, we found an old kerosene heater in the shop, and a lot of people were stoked on it, and Emmy was like, what? I don't know why you guys are so excited. That's just very common in Japan. Here's a couple of them. So I don't think this is a resort. I think this is what's known as an akiya, which translates roughly to empty home, not abandoned home. And oftentimes they're full of stuff. The reason being, Japan, unfortunately, is suffering a pretty serious population collapse. And these houses are handed down over the generations. And there's just not enough people for the people inheriting the houses to be able to sell it. So unfortunately they end up sitting, and many of them end up in a position like this. Far beyond salvage. Kind of devastating. Whole bunch of family photos sitting there. Anyways, I spied this handlebar sticking out with a speedometer on it. I had to come for a closer look. There's this old moped sitting here. Actually, I think it's a scooter, not a moped. That's just incredible. Might just go up the hill here. See if I can dodge those monkeys. Getting up out of that ravine was far more exhaustive than I intended. I'd love to fabricate some kind of story about an epic battle between me and the monkeys, but it was really just muddy and slippery. This is up to the very top, so we'll turn around here, make our way back, but you can see these were very large state-of-the-art facilities. I actually think this is a school in behind me here. I'm hoping this is going to loop back around the correct way so we can skip the forest shortcut. There's noises over there that I thought for a second were birds. I think it's more monkeys. A couple of train cars here and cross-country skis. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Coming back out to the main drag here, and if you've not been to Japan, this is going to blow your mind, because the bulk of these hotels were just walked away from. They put ropes in front and signs that say do not enter, and that's exactly what people have done or not done. These hotels are sitting here basically exactly as they've been left, with things inside and the windows still intact, very minimal graffiti. Of course, there has been a couple of bad eggs over the years, but if these were basically anywhere else in the world, especially North America, there'd be basically nothing left. This one's looking pretty rough. It's got a big crack right down the center. But look at these old transformers. And all the windows still intact. And you can actually see stuff growing inside. Crazy. This one right in front of us here. This is the most famous one for a couple of reasons. It was the first one to be abandoned. The owner literally just disappeared. The employees tried to keep it going for a short period of time and ultimately had to walk away from it. At the front, there's a big pool that you can see. Very picturesque. I'm assuming there would have been neon inside the letters before, or the characters. But you can book this hotel. Emmy tried to book a room in there, but it was sold out. But there's, I guess, one particular room that is perfect for people that are into urban exploring. That gives you an incredible view of the front side of all these abandoned hotels. Apparently the locals don't like it so much, which is understandable because this place is so beautiful. It's kind of a shame to see all of this abandoned kind of disaster sitting here in this beautiful area. For people like me, it's a great sight, but for people that are not a fan of the abandoned, not so much. I'm surprised to see that pool's empty over there. I just can't get how beautiful this place is. These actually look abandoned sitting over here too. Yeah. All those trees growing all the way up there. I don't know what the rate of regrowth is in this area. I'd assume pretty fast, but that one tall tree you can see there, it's going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories. Much of this village is not abandoned and actually kind of coming back to life, which is pretty amazing. So you can walk around here and enjoy a lot of the modern touristy things and get a glimpse of the historical side of things as well. Ramen shop, abandoned. So if you do a little deep diving around the internet, you can find certainly photos and probably videos of people that have gone through these hotels. The reason that they're still in such good shape is because in Japan, the culture just doesn't allow things like that. So we're gonna respect the culture and we're just gonna view from the outside. But the view from the outside is freaking spectacular. Yeah, that's crazy. I just can't believe how tall the trees have gone up again. Little hints of the boom. And of course the bust. Restaurant? Look at all these balconies. Totally overgrown. I wonder how much longer until these vines go all the way up to the top. Wow. That's crazy. Just think back 30 years ago. This light would have shone up, illuminated the whole side of this hotel. This tree would have been probably not even in existence. We found a free foot hot spring here. I'm gonna do this pose momentarily, but I gotta take a look at the hot spring. Wow, that's very hot. Oh, wow, I can't handle it. Youch. This is the life. If you've been a very long time viewer, you'll remember I did a story in northern British Columbia of a hot spring resort that ended up getting shut down because the government was requiring chemical treatment of the water. I'm curious if this is chlorinated or if this is just water flowing through. Like, this isn't affiliated with a hotel or anything. This is just a little facility sitting here that you can use for free. Pretty flippin' awesome either way. I can see through the windows of this place. All the tables and chairs are still in there, and there's what looks like bird cages hanging. Pretty cool. As you go around the town, there's these stamps that you can get from each place. You can see some type of maybe little hot spring bath or something there. Overlooking the edge. Amazing. Look at the patina on this old abandoned whatever. So I believe this is hot spring steam coming out of here, right in front of the restaurant. I'm just so curious about this place. Obviously been sitting a long time. I like those boxes. Yeah.
Souvenir shop.
Oh, really?
Yes. Over there as well, the souvenir shop.
It's an abandoned souvenir shop, still full of souvenirs. This particular town is a really fascinating one because oftentimes you can get lost in the fantasy of an abandoned place, imagining what it was like when things were happening there. This one's cool because it's still happening here, but there's all these relics. We're basically just zigzagging through little roads. We've come out in a spot where you can see, obviously there was once a building of some kind here, and who knows how it once connected, but there's another little road going up there.
12 o'clock?
Oh, wow. That's 12 noon?
But it should be someone's garden.
Yeah.
It's noon.
Noon.
Wow. Awesome.
I know. So funny, it's been a massive struggle trying to find a bathtub small enough to fit in lot 32. All these Japanese baths are just perfect. Gonna have to get a quote. Ship that one back to BC. Bit of a spooky something happening here. We've been walking around here for a couple hours and there's basically no people, but that big hotel is fully booked.
Yeah, fully booked. I checked all the room and fully booked until next month or following month.
Wow.
Like everything close. So
That's crazy. This one looks like it wasn't even finished up here. Yeah, this is crazy. Like all these cars and a relative number of modern homes, nobody around.
Yeah, you don't see many people, like even tourists.
Yeah. We found an interesting vending machine. For 1,000 yen, you're guaranteed to win something from here. Probably I'm gonna win something not very exciting, but we're about to find out.
this is sold out. So here, 3 buttons.
And it's a mystery. Which one?
Yeah, I don't know which ones.
Electric toothbrush. 1,000 yen. I wanted the Nintendo Switch.
It's cute.
There's a good view of that first hotel along the string of abandoned ones on the far side. But look at this even over here. Just scored me another troll stamp from that bridge. We're trying to make our way out of here. Every time we find the new place, there's just so much more to see. This is a whole new end of town over here, and it's pretty incredible. One thing in particular I saw in the parking lot of an abandoned hotel over here, an abandoned motorbike. Looks like it's been sitting for decades. Gotta take a closer look. Look at this one. It looks like it's built into the bedrock. For sure that's artificial going out there. Awfully beautiful though. This one's been totally cleaned out, but no water damage or anything. Looks like it's in pretty great shape. That's the problem. Hotel quarter saison. If they were open all 4 saisons, might still be in business. Looks like it's in good shape, but I can actually smell the mold from here. You can actually take a train here from Tokyo. This is the train station in behind me. There's a far nicer, more modern one in the modern part of town. And there's also an operational steam locomotive. So this one is definitely abandoned, but it doesn't actually look like it's been abandoned for that long. But even more impressive than the hotel itself is this motorbike. Oh, it's been scavenged a little bit. That's pretty rad though. Been sitting out here a long time, collecting dust. I saw that when we were driving by and basically forced Emmy to stop. Poor girl. She enjoys doing this kind of stuff, but more than anything, she's just really patient while I'm doing it. Before we leave town, I've got to show you the view off this bridge. We just finished doing a little bit of souvenir shopping and touristy things in the more modern part of town. And the bridge that takes you into the primarily abandoned part of town has a spectacular view. Look at that right there. That's a fishing hole. This looks quite modern actually. I didn't think it was abandoned when we first went over the bridge, but getting a closer look at it now, it definitely is. But look at this view with that rock pillar. That is just incredible. Just to see one of these big abandoned hotels sitting here in perfect condition is pretty incredible. to see it on the scale that you see here, it's almost beyond comprehension. This is the rise and fall of dozens of big dreams and businesses and corporations just sitting here. To be able to come here from the other side of the world and see something like this is really amazing. But with that, it's time to move on to the next one. When it comes to abandoned places and urban exploring, there's really fewer better countries. But in my opinion, Japan has so much more to offer than just the abandoned. And I'm excited to say that I have some very interesting stories lined up for the coming weeks, and I just can't wait to share them with you guys. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Destination Adventure, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.